welcome to another YouTube video from moi, Teddy Girl Lifts. So today what I thought we'd do is just go over how roughly to calculate your macros. I have had a lot of queries from people, mainly on my Instagram account, asking me how to do this, so I thought I would do a nice little YouTube video for you. So first you need to calculate roughly how many calories you need before you can work out your macros. So what you first need to do in order to calculate your calories is to figure out your BMR. Your BMR is your basal metabolic rate, so that is how much you burn without doing anything, just laying in bed, not even moving. Today I don't feel like doing anything. That's how many calories you burn on a base level. So to do that, it's roughly 22 calories per kilogram for women and 24 calories per kilogram for men. So to get your BMR, you need to times your weight in kilograms by 22 if you're a woman and by 24 if you're a man. So once you've got that, keep that to one side, jot that down, keep that to one side. The second thing you need to do is to calculate your PAL, and that is your physical activity level. So this is kind of a judgment call because you need to just figure out what your activity level actually is, and that's not just gym, that's day-to-day activity, how much you walk, how much you move around during the day when you're at work, all of that. So take all of that into consideration and then be honest with yourself about what your activity level actually is. Don't up it if it's not true, because it's not going to help you, okay? You don't have to tell your physical activity level to anyone if it embarrasses you for whatever reason. Just be honest with yourself, okay? So if you're mostly inactive or sedentary, it would be 1.2. If you're fairly active and that's walking or exercise about 1 to 2 times per week, then it would be 1.3. If you're moderately active, which is exercise about 2 to 3 times a week, then you would put 1.4. If you're active and that's intense exercise about, well, more than 3 times a week, say, then it would be 1.5. And if you're very active, that's intensive exercise daily, it would be 1.7. Okay, so now that you've got that number, you need to calculate your DCN, and that's your daily caloric needs. And to do that, you need to multiply your BMR, your basal metabolic rate number that you got earlier, by your PAL, your physical activity level, which you just got. Okay, so multiply those. So for me, I would times my BMR by 1.5 because I'm classed as active, because I do a lot of exercise, do a lot of walking, and I am in the gym about 5-6 times a week, minimal, and at the moment it's added cardio as well. But my day job is quite sedentary. I sit at a desk and work on a computer, so not a lot of movement for 7 hours a day while I'm at work, 5 days a week. So 1.5 for me. I would times that by my BMR, which I can't quite remember now, but I think it's around 1,400 or something like that, 1,300. It doesn't matter about me, this is about you. So multiply those two numbers, and that gives you a rough idea of your calorie requirement in order to maintain your current weight. So that is roughly how many calories you need to stay at the same weight that you are now, okay? So then what you would do, once you have that figure, you need to decide what your goal is. Are you trying to lose fat, or are you trying to build muscle? If you're trying to lose fat, then you need to eat less than that maintenance level calories, and if you want to build muscle then you need to eat more. This is pretty basic stuff. So now macros. Protein is 4 calories per gram. Carbs are the same, 4 calories per gram, and fats are 9 calories per gram. Okay, so this is how you work out from the calories that we've just figured out how much of each macro you need in grams. So 4 calories for protein and carbs per gram and 9 calories for fats. Next, you want to figure out how many grams of each of those macronutrients you want per day. Okay, so protein, as a rough guide, protein should be around about 2 times your weight in kilograms. So let's say currently I'm about 60 kilograms, so if I was doing it this way, I would get 120 grams of protein per day, minimal. I've upped mine slightly just because if you're more muscular then you can stand to have a bit more protein, and protein is quite filling, so that's what I'm doing at the moment. So at the moment I'm getting about 135 grams of protein per day. Anyway, so twice your weight in kilograms for grams of protein. Now what you can do, once you know the grams of protein, you can times that by 4 to get how many calories that is, and then you can take that away from your overall daily calories. Then fats next. Fats, you want it to be around about 20% of your daily calorie intake. So you can work that out by using a percentage calculator, or you can use it on MyFitnessPal. They can calculate roughly for you. Figure out 20% of your daily calories and then divide that by 9. That's right, isn't it? Divide that by 9 to get the grams of fat per day for you. Mine is currently 60 grams of fat per day. And then carbs is just the rest of it. So whatever's left of your daily calories after protein and fats, divide that by 4 to get your grams of carbs per day. And that's that. Now you can play around, see what works for you. It's going to be different for everybody, but I do recommend that you change it gradually. So if you want to lower your calories in order to lose fat, then do it gradually. So like 50 calories less per week. Don't just drop 500 all of a sudden, because it's going to put your body in shock, and it's going to be much harder for you to stick to that diet if you just go all out straight away. So gradual decrease in calories I recommend. And I would do the same if I was looking to bulk, to build muscle. I would go up gradually rather than just changing massively straight away. Just let your body get used to it. I wouldn't recommend going more than 500 calories in either direction, because at that point it's not healthy anymore, especially if you're decreasing your calories for fat loss. You shouldn't go less than about 500 calories really underneath your maintenance level calories, just because you need to still be providing nutrients to your body. Your body needs food for fuel, and you can lose fat by keeping still a relatively high amount of calories per day. You shouldn't be trying to rush your fat loss. It'll come off gradually. It's not a quick thing. It's a long drawn out process, and don't expect overnight success. So just be patient, fuel your body, look after yourself. Anyway, the last point that I was going to make is not to mess with your protein when you're decreasing or increasing, especially decreasing, but when you're changing your calories, when you're changing your calorie intake, don't mess with the protein. Keep the protein consistent, maybe up it a little, but you really just want to be messing with the carbs. You can play about with the fats a little, but again, don't drop too low with the fats because your body needs them. You need them for your joints, cartilage, etc. Very good for you to have fats. If you don't have fats, your body will not be happy with you. So keep good fats in. Like I said, I'm on a cut at the moment. Mine's still 60 grams a day fats, and I'm just decreasing carbs when I need to, gradually decreasing my carbs. I think I'm at a good point at the moment, so I'm not going to change that. Yeah, but just manipulate your carbs, definitely not protein. And that is it. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any more questions or if there's anything I didn't cover, let me know down below. Subscribe, like, share with your friends, etc. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys.